नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Gita, chapter number 1, shloka number 36. Papam eva shrayedasman atvaitannatatayinah tasmannarhavayam hantum dhartarashtam sa bandhavam स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिना श्याममाधवः. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of goddess of fortune, and how could we be happy by killing our own kinsman? Purport. According to the Vedic injunction, there are 6 kinds of aggressors: poison giver, one who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another's land, and one who kidnaps a wife. Such aggressors are at once to be killed, and no sin is incurred by killing such aggressors. Such killing of aggressors is quite befitting any ordinary man, but Arjuna was not an ordinary person. He was a saintly of a character, and therefore he wanted to deal with them in saintliness. This kind of saintliness, however, is not for a Kshatriya. Although a responsible man in the administration of the state is required to be saintly, he should not be cowardly. For example, Lord Rama was so saintly that people even now are anxious to live in the kingdom of Lord. For example, Lord Rama was so saintly that people even now are anxious to live in the kingdom of Lord Rama. But Lord Rama never showed any cowardice. Ravana was an aggressor against Rama because Ravana kidnapped Rama's wife, Sita, but Lord Rama gave him sufficient lessons unparalleled in the history of the world. In Arjuna's case, however, one should consider the special type of aggressors, namely his own grandfather, own teacher, friends, sons, grandsons. Because of them, Arjuna thought that he should not take the severe steps necessary against ordinary aggressors. Besides that, saintly persons are advised to forgive. Such injunctions for saintly persons are more important than any political emergency. Arjuna considered that rather than kill his own kinsmen for political reasons, it would be better to forgive them on the grounds of religion and saintly behavior. He did not therefore consider such killing profitable simply for the matter of temporary bodily happiness. After all, kingdoms and pleasures derived therefrom are not permanent. So why should he risk his life and eternal salvation by killing his own kinsman? Arjuna's addressing of Krishna as Madhava, or husband of goddess of fortune, is also significant in this connection. He wanted to point out to Krishna that as the husband of goddess of fortune, he should not induce Arjuna to take up a matter which would ultimately bring about misfortune. Krishna, however, never brings misfortune to anyone who say nothing to his devotees. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम Rama Rama Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pungam Langayate Girim Yatkripātamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarin. Hare Krishna. Last couple of days back we discussed on this sloka. We'll try to discuss further to really understand in which position Arjuna has been kept. Dear devotees, Arjuna is kept in a very difficult state. Internally, he is struggling so much. Actually, in a sadhaka's life, internal struggle is good. Through internal struggle only, one will actually take shelter. One will understand the greatness of Guru Sadhu Shastra more and more and take their shelter more and more. Internal struggle should be there in one's life. If there is no struggle, that is not right. Not right in the sense we cannot do introspection. If there are struggles, then that is that will help us to do introspection. There are no struggles, then it will not help us to go internal. Dear devotees, I'll give a scenario. Let's say you're trying to do a service, but the service is not happening. You're again and again investing time, energy, service is not happening. When the service is not happening again and again, you're investing energy, you're investing everything. Things are not manifesting. You need to understand Krishna is looking for something else. Something else means not to change the service. Krishna is looking so that we take these instances on a more deeper level. That means, in the sense, for example, if the service is not happening, we should, first of all, we should depend. Second, what we should do is we should intensify that service. That means the focus should be more, the concentration should be more. Let's say you're applying some time, whatever time you're applying, it should be legitimate. That means your focus should be 100%. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Even at that time also service is not happening. Still we should not be dejected. You should see that as an arrangement of the Lord. Then we should move forward. If you actually see Arjuna is planning to do a service here. Now, what is his service? Not to fight. Not to fight is also a service. But when he is thinking about not to fight, what is happening? Because his consciousness, his energy, his mind, intelligence, everything is telling not to fight. But his heart somewhere, the heart is not accepting. That's why he's dejected. Because if the heart is accepting, then he wouldn't have been dejected. But the heart is not responding in the right way, which is exactly how will happen in everyone's life. Because Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart. He will show us, confirm us again and again. No, this is not right way. You should change. You should change your attitude, change your mentality. Now, through that, what is happening? You are going more and more deeper. You are not losing the faith, but rather you are cultivating. You are trying to cultivate certain situations so that the faith is more intensified. Please understand this, dear devotee. Srila Prabhupada, 45 years, it's a failure only actually. If you see, now for him it is not failure, but everyone who are is seeing his life, it's failure after failure. In the material world, they say that failure is a stepping stone for success. But Prabhupada is not seeing that as a failure actually. Pure souls, they don't see that as failure. What they see is this is an opportunity to do this service more. This is an opportunity to take more and more shelter. It's not a failure actually. Externally, for somebody else, it looks failure, but for the person who is actually going through it, he is actually intensifying his bhakti through that. That means at that moment, failure is good for us, right? Failure is good. That means what is happening in that instance during that failure? What are we doing? We're intensifying our devotion. That intensification of devotion is what Krishna is actually looking. Because their devotees, this material world will not leave us. Please understand. Even if you work, even if you do not work, Even if you want to surrender, even if you don't want to surrender, every moment there are steps, there are challenges. Through those challenges, one should actually understand I do not have any other shelter. Lord Chaitanya, his followers, Krishna, they are my shelter. I do not have any other shelter. Here, Arjuna would realize that thing very quickly. That is the difference between a pure soul and a conditioned soul. Why conditioned soul doesn't come to that state immediately? Because conditioned soul has a lot of conditioning. That means he has, for example, if we are connected to, let's say the child is very habituated to watch, to handle cell phone. His parents are telling repeatedly, no, this is not right, this is not right. But still he's unable to get out of it. Because his hands, it's like itchy. Without the cell phone, without playing games in the cell phone, there's no sustenance. So somehow, shape or form, will try to find that. For that, he might go into bad association also. Because what is important for him, for him, the important is to get that. Doesn't matter where he is. He's ready to take any kind of bad association for that. Because his desire is fulfilling, na, in that. Please understand. Here, Arjuna has one desire, not to fight, which is clearly explaining in this particular sloka. Oh, what will I get if I kill all the kinsmen? What will I get? How will I be happy if I have a kingdom without my kinsmen? Actually, Arjuna is not looking for kingdom also. He's not looking for that. His only intention is not to kill them. Now, for that not to kill them, he is he's putting all the scriptures, he's putting all the awareness, and he's also showing different situations and circumstances, stating that I cannot do this because of this in dharma. But the core reason is that he doesn't want to fight. Why? Because he has a deep attachment, which he doesn't want to tell also. Please understand, he's not telling his attachment. That is also very important. This is a greatest lesson for us. Dear devotees, do we ever confess our problems to our loved ones? No, we don't. We don't confess. Especially boys, we don't tell. We don't tell others. Girls, they might confess, but the boys is very difficult. So here Arjuna is not telling his problem. He's not telling that, oh, I'm so attached to my family members. Because at this particular instance, we need to understand that Arjuna himself, he doesn't know that that is the core reason. Please understand that. Because you know how conditioning is very deep is. How conditioning very deep is, we ourselves, we don't know where the problem is. We kind of think that I have this problem and then I'll sort this out. That itself is an indication of my actually technically we don't know where the problem is. We really don't know. We think that we know. If we know, then why we are not coming out of it? Another notion. Now we need to ask this question also. If I know where my problem is, then if I know the problem, then I can solve that problem. Nah. That means I'm unable to come out of certain situations. That means it's a very clear indication that we don't even know what the problem is. Just like Arjuna, his life is the greatest lesson here about this. Please understand. The conditioning is so deep that conditioning will cover up our real identity. And then through that conditioning, it will put us in the illusory state. Now, even though we might hear, even though we might understand, but the thing is still at the end of the day, we have our own things. Please understand, this is quite natural to everyone. Everyone has their own understanding. For example, if I now I tend to ask these kind of questions to devotees. What kind of questions is I said, what is your understanding on this? What is your awareness on this? Because if your awareness is not right, that means whatever you do after that, it's all failure. That means awareness has to be right on spot, right? It has to be spot on. Because to cure conditioning, awareness is the greatest solution. Yes, no doubt one should chant Hare Krishna, that will remove everything. But if you are chanting offensively, will that remove? It will not remove. Please understand. Offensive chanting will not remove our anarthas. A person should come to at least Namabhas. Please understand, until person comes to Namabhas only, he will come to the stage of clearing. Up until that point of time, he didn't even get access actually. If you actually see, holy name is complete Ananda. I was actually thinking about this while I was chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra today. I was I read this Srila Prabhupada's quote, and then during the chanting, I was just contemplating on that how important it is. His one line, one statement, what he said is, work for Krishna gives you immense happiness in your life. Just this is the line. Work for Krishna gives immense happiness in your life. Now here what is the instance which Arjuna is pointing? Is Arjuna working for Krishna at this particular moment? No. Are the conditioned souls in this world? If we have some conditioning, do we work for Krishna? We do not work for Krishna. I was asking this question to a group of devotees. Then they immediately started answering that how can I work for Krishna? That means another question will come. What is the reason why you cannot work for Krishna? That means you don't know who Krishna is. Yes, obviously, if a person knows who Krishna is, then he will never say that how I can work for Krishna. Because if a person knows who Krishna is, who is that personality, then the person will actually jump onto that work. If the person is actually not working on that plane, means it's a very clear indication that the person never understood who Krishna is. Now, after so many years of practice of Krishna consciousness, sadhaka is not coming to the stage of pure devotion. That means he has so many other attachments in between. Then it's a clear indication that this sadhaka never understood who Krishna is. This sadhaka never understood who Srila Prabhupada is. It's very clearly it is showing. Now, devotees, they are going through this notion, dear devotees. What is that notion is, I should be initiated. Okay, initiated. You are initiated by the mercy of the spiritual master. He gives diksha and then you are initiated. After that, what is happening? Please understand. After that, what is happening? We are initiated. Then what is happening? What are we really doing actually? This is a question now. It's $1 million question. Yes, we are initiated. What are we doing after that? These are the questions which actually went into my heart actually. I began thinking about this. If I do not work for Krishna, Prabhupada is telling, work for Krishna gives you immense happiness in the consciousness. What is it? What is it giving? Immense happiness, unlimited. We have no idea what that is. Work for Krishna is giving what? Giving immense happiness. That means if I am not working for Krishna, will that give me happiness? Obviously, if you are not working for Krishna, it will not give happiness. That means in order to work for Krishna, what are the obstacles in one's life? This one should check. Exactly this is what Arjuna will actually check in his heart. Why are we discussing this is Arjuna, how through that conditioning state, it's a momentary conditioning, because there's an arrangement of the Lord, right? Through that momentary condition, how is it Arjuna coming to that pure state of pure devotional service? Right? Because unless and until that pure devotional service is manifested, that grief which is there in the heart, that will not be dissipated. Please understand this. Please understand this. This is the core reason why our movement is actually like this. Do you know why our movement is stagnated? It is actually stagnated. Why it is stagnated? Because people do come to the movement, people understand the truth, but they don't know how to apply. Or people do come to the movement, they don't understand the truth. Whatever they require from the moment, they take that and then they will go. Or they will stay in the moment, but they don't actively work for the moment. That means what is happening? That means working for Krishna is not manifested. Please understand. If the working for Krishna is not manifested, then obviously he will not be happy. As he is not happy in Krishna consciousness, what he'll look happiness outside. Their word is this is all for us only. Please understand. If the happiness is not obtained here, what we will do? We'll look for happiness outside. That looking for happiness outside is what? Is a trap of the material nature. Because material nature will only release us if we are really working for Krishna. Please understand. Otherwise, this material nature will not leave us. A lot of people, they do individual devotion. Individual devotion means they go to Dham by own themselves. They go to Vrindavan, they go to Mayapur, they offer prayers, and then they come back. Oh, what benefit they got? Now, after coming out, after coming from Vrindavan, did their heart changed completely? Or are they free from sense gratification? Are they coming to the state of surrender? Are they aspiring for pure devotion? Do they really understand what is the mission of Lord Chaitanya? Actually, Lord Chaitanya movement is only for selflessness. It's only people who are selfless. Lord Chaitanya movement is that for that only. Yesterday it's a beautiful discussion I was hearing from the spiritual, of my spiritual master. So wonderful, so rejuvenating, so lively experience to the heart. What it is unless and until the sadhaka comes to the selfless plane, he cannot avail the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. That means Lord Chaitanya's mercy is very deep actually. Because please understand, he came to the jivas in this world who are completely lost, devoid of everything. Because that jiva is actually looking for dhanajana and sundari. But those kind of personalities Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Please understand. Did we ever hanker for Krishna Prem, Krishna Prem, Krishna Prem before coming to the movement? Did we ever hanker for that? No, we did not hanker for that. It is a mercy of those personalities. It is a mercy of Lord Chaitanya. It is a mercy of the Acharyas. They, through their presence, through their association, they're invoking this mercy. Please understand. It is only through their mercy, through their presence in our life. Because if as they are not there in one's life, if they are not there in one's life, what happens? Obviously, we'll be in a selfish pain. Or even they came into our life, still we are in selfish pain because our attitude is not completely changed. Because if the attitude is not changed, then what is happening? The manifestation will not happen. Please understand this. You see, Bharata Maharaj, he gave up everything. Just thinking about him. Bharata Maharaj, he gave up everything. Please think about this, dear devotees. This personality gave up everything. He's not behind opposite sex. He's not behind money. He's not behind any of these things. His only conviction is to worship the Lord self in a forest. He went to the secluded forest because he couldn't stay at his kingdom because he has given up the kingdom. He couldn't stay with his family because he has given up his family. No, we shouldn't bluntly see here an important aspect here is when he given up his family, that doesn't mean that he without any arrangements or without any of keeping everyone in a state of flux. No, it's not like that. He arranged everything and then he left. Please understand. Because their Vaishnavas are very responsible. It's not like they're like irresponsible. No, no, very, very. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me okay? Sorry, I was disconnected for a moment. Can somebody tell?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So, what is happening here, dear devotees? Please understand. The disconnect is very important. Uh, if you actually see, he doesn't have money, he doesn't have any of those things, but he's on a subtle level, he's attached to his family. Now, is what kind of attachment is that? Is it attachment bad attachment? No, 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 no. They gave him so much actually. Out of deep gratitude, he's he's feeling okay. I cannot kill them. That is actually there is no wrong in that, dear devotees. But if you see, Krishna gives biggest test for his pure devotees. Please understand. That means Krishna says it's only me for you. There's nothing else. Because Arjuna has that kind of state, that kind of consciousness. That's why Krishna gave Arjuna that kind of a deep test. Because if you actually see, Arjuna is free from envy. Please understand. Lust, greed, anger, envy, falsehood. There's nothing pure soul. Because if he has any tinge of envy, he would have killed them right away. Because he will take that as an opportunity. Because there are certain situations which came into his life that he can be envious towards those personalities who are actually there on the other side of the battlefield. Now, one of that instance is one of those instances is put their family at stake. It's a very difficult state, right? At that moment he can be envious, but this is a very clear indication he is not envious with any one of them. Dear, what is that? We should think here on another aspect. What is that aspect is? Now, definitely these personalities, Drona, Bhishma, is great personalities. Bhishma Dev actually trained them so much, gave him so much. But now the same Bhishma is against them. Please understand. That means even though the personalities are looks like he's against, but see these personalities' attitude. Even though he looks against, but he doesn't have a tinge of any ill feeling towards them. What kind of consciousness is this? Very important. Dear devotees, Prabhupada says that this is a state of consciousness which has to be cultivated to hear Bhagavatam, to hear Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Yesterday, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Haridas Thakur Maharaj, he was being beaten at 21 marketplaces. Please understand this is very important. 21 marketplaces. Why he was being beaten? 5, 6 people were beaten with those hunter ropes. Beating is heavy actually. When that touches the body, it will rip off the skin. Then he was being beaten like 21 marketplaces. But if we understand here, all they were asking him is to stop chanting Hare Krishna. Nothing else. If he stops chanting Hare Krishna, then he will leave. Then they will leave him. But see this person's faith and conviction, deep devotion towards Lord Chaitanya and his words. He's telling, I'm ready to give up my life, but how can I leave this? Please understand. I'm ready to give up my life. How can I lose this? How can I go away from this? How can I disobey these words? My life, that's okay. But see, how can I give a wrong notion to these personalities? He never did it. Never did it. No, what kind of faith they have in their heart. How much devotion they have. Unimaginable. Cannot imagine, dear devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercy is unimaginable. Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. Now we can say he's a Brahmaji. But see here, Brahmaji is not availing any of that qualities which Brahmaji has. That power, he didn't show any of those things. He just came as a normal human being and then showed us how to lead this life. Please understand. Please understand this. This same person ready to take any trouble. Doesn't matter. Even his life is vanquished. Doesn't matter for him. He's there, always there in the front. That means this person chanting those rounds will take 21 hours per hour to chant that many rounds. Because what is he feeling and what is he experiencing? Until there's a feeling and expression, he cannot continue doing that. Just like Srila Prabhupada said, work for Krishna gives you unlimited happiness. That means an immediate question will come, which work I'm doing for to please Krishna? Because an Acharya, when he told those words, that means that's his life actually. Because if you see Prabhupada's life, that's his life. He completely dedicated his life for that. That means what is he doing? He's working for Krishna only. Why? Because his spiritual master told him. Please understand, there's a correlation and connection. Work for Krishna can only be established like how deeper relationship we have with our beloved spiritual master. When we have that relationship, what happens? Then we can work for the Lord. Please understand. Otherwise, work for Krishna is not possible. Because Arjuna's problem is because he's not working for Krishna at this moment. Likewise, in our conditioning state, just like Arjuna has been kept in a conditioning state, likewise we in our conditioning state, we are unable to work for Krishna because of our problems. Because our problems are the stoppage for receiving unlimited love, unlimited happiness. Because everyone wants to be happy. The moment Friday comes, they go outside Friday night, Saturday night. Why? They're not sleeping. They're not sleeping until 2, 1, because it's on the weekend, right? They're going out. So what is that giving? What is it giving? They're hankering for happiness. That's why they're not sleeping. That means they're doing an action to receive some kind of happiness. But your Prabhupada is telling, unless and until you work for Krishna, you cannot get happiness. That means, are they really happy? They're thinking that they are happy, but technically they're not happy. For example, through Tamoguna also one can be happy. What is Tamoguna? You forget everything. You either sleep or you're either drowsy or you're just sitting idle alone, thinking nothing. What is that? Tamo. What is that tamo? That means you are for a momentary you're forgetting who you are. The momentary forgetting our nature, who we are, that itself people are thinking that they're happy. Please understand. That actually that is how is that happiness? How is that yielding to be happy? Is it happiness? It's not happiness. But they're thinking that it is happiness. This is illusion. That means that which is not is what is called as illusion. Material nature is that. That is called as Maya actually. That means people are thinking that this is happiness. But if we go ask deeper, then they say that I thought that I'll be happy, but somehow due to that person I was not happy. That means what are they doing? They're pointing to the other person, stating that due through that person I'm not happy. Just like Arjuna here is pointing towards his relatives, stating that through those personalities, actually through those personalities also only he is not happy. Please understand here. Because what is he doing? His continuous meditation is on those personalities. He's continuously maintaining on those personalities. Kauravas, Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, thinking that, oh, they're my family members. How can I kill them? They're my friends, they're my relatives. See, grandfather Bhishma is only grandfather, but he did not stop only at grandfather. He said his friends, his relatives, his neighbors, all those personalities, his uncles. That means he has seen Bhishma Dev, but his problem is not just with Bhishma Dev, but his problem is with everyone. That means in the sense he doesn't want to do any of those things. Because he has a saintly qualities, na? That means happiness through Arjuna's lens is what? Happiness, quitting this body, quitting this quarrel, quitting this battle. Through that, he is availing happiness. Please understand. If I go and ask Duryodhana what would be his happiness would be victorious in the battlefield. That means he wants to fight. Is he caring about the family? Is he caring about all those people who will be killed? He's not caring about that. That means why is he not caring about it? Because he's caring about himself. Please understand. If a person begins to think more about himself, he cannot think about the other person. If the person has this consciousness, he will never understand what the mission of Lord Chaitanya is. That means what is happening? We are stopped at different instances in our life. Please understand. Somebody stopped stating that, oh, my wife is not allowing me to practice. Somebody says that my husband is not allowing me to practice. Somebody says that I do not have time to practice. Oh, I've heard so many people telling that I do not have time to chant. I do not have time to hear. I do not have time to practice. That means they have time for so many other things. Definitely they have time for so many other things. What are the other things? To uplift one's academic career, to uplift one's life, to uplift so many things in this world, to ensure that the growth, the income growth is increasing. Because it's inflation, people are worried. Oh, there is inflation. What's going to happen to me after 10, 15 years if I don't study all of these things? Oh, what's going to happen to me if I don't study artificial intelligence? People are telling that artificial intelligence will be the market in the next 20 years. Oh, what's going to happen if I don't learn that? What are all these things? Because I have to run through with this market condition. I have to run through with this economic condition. Now they say that the home prices will be 600K, 700K or 800K or even more average home prices. Compared to average home prices 10, 15 years, it was like 200K, but now it became 600, 700K. Why? Change. And through that change, what is the salary also increasing like that? No, the salary is not increasing. Then who is having the burden? The jiva, the person is having the burden, not the leaders who are there. We shouldn't say leaders. We should not the politicians who are there in the top. They don't have any problem. Oh, who is having the problem? The person who is actually going through that, he's having the problem. Likewise, here the word is those personalities are okay. Kauravas, they're all very happy. But who is in problem? No, Arjuna is in problem. They are happy to fight, but Arjuna is not in a position to fight. Forget about in a position to fight. He is actually in a distressed state. Likewise, the devotee who will be distressed. The person who is fully material is not distressed because he'll get कुछ थोड़ा आनंद मिलेगा उसको. That person will go through his karmic reaction. There's a bad, there is good in his life. When there is bad, he is dejected. When there is good, he's elated. That's always there for the conditioned soul. For a pure devotee also there is no problem. Why? Because they're Atmaram, they're self-controlled. They're not worried about this word. Oh, where is the problem? Is the person who is in the middle. What is that middle? He is at the state of taking materialism and also practicing Krishna consciousness. That means right now his faith is in the both planes. Please understand. If a person's plane is in the both states, that means थोड़ा देर materialism करेंगे, थोड़ा देर spiritualism practice करेंगे. Will practice spirituality sometime materialism. No, this conception is what means. This conception is a difficult conception. That means this is a state where the jiva will struggle more. And Arjuna is actually showing who that conditioned soul will be. Because Arjuna is in that particular state now. He's telling that, how can I fight? That means on one side he wanted to please the Lord, on the other side also he is expressing his heart. Please understand. Actually, if you closely observe what Arjuna is speaking, you will actually see our heart. Because all these questions they're addressing our heart actually. Because we also get this thought na, should I practice करेंगे? Should I practice Krishna consciousness or not? Should I do it in this way or not? Should I do full-time Krishna conscious or should I do part-time Krishna conscious? Should I do weekend Krishna conscious? Should I do monthly once Krishna conscious? Should I eat Krishna Prasad daily or should I eat Krishna Prasad once in a while? Or should I chant once in a while, or should I chant daily? These are the notions which are happening. Why? Because through the conditioning, so many attachments, hai na? We have so many attachments. Are please understand, Bharat Maharaj has only one attachment. Through that one attachment, he had a problem. Now, if we have thousands of attachments, don't we think that we are in the problem? Or we are in the deep shit actually? No idea. As we do not have any idea of this. This is the core reason why we do not know what's our problem, sir. That's why Arjuna also didn't know what's his problem. That's why he submitted to Krishna. He says, "Oh, Krishna, I don't know. I don't know from where this grief is coming." Because he accepts, I don't know where this grief is coming. Then he submitted. That means, please understand, we coming to that state is the greatest benediction. Very, very important. Please understand this. If you understand this nicely, no problem actually. Ravana is an aggressor. Why is an aggressor? Because he wants to usurp Mother Sita. He wants to take away, kidnapped Mother Sita. Why he kidnapped Mother Sita? By the words of her sister. Because what is he doing? He's actually trusting his sister. Please understand. Because he had complete trust and faith on his sister. What is every person in this world, they have faith. For example, I might ask something to AI. That means what am I doing? I'm putting my faith to what AI is telling, what AI is suggesting, I'll do that. Somebody else calls his friend. He'll say, this is my situation. Can you tell me what I should do? Then he'll tell something. Now, through that faith, through that understanding, he will accept the whole thing or he will accept partial thing. But definitely he'll accept. Even in the material plane. Please understand, you just imagine, even just in the material plane, people have faith in the words of the elders. Please understand, if they have faith on the words of the Lord. When Krishna says, Mahamanusva Idyacha, when we are actually meditating on the Lord, then where is the problem? That means what is happening is we are actually not meditating on the Lord. That is the problem actually. When we don't meditate on the Lord, we fall into the external energy of the Lord. External energy means taking away our consciousness, taking away our energy. Internal strength means giving more energy. That means the more we discuss, the more we hear what is happening, it will give us energy, rejuvenating energy. Now, through that energy, what happens? Just like Arjuna came out of the difficult state, we will also come out of that difficult state. It's not an ordinary thing. Arjuna's difficulty is the greatest difficulty. He doesn't want to fight because he is not interested. No, he is not interested, but he has to do. Is it not difficult? It is difficult. For example, somebody is feeding you non-vegetarian. Do you eat? You don't eat. It is a difficult state. They say that if you don't eat, I'll kill you. That doesn't happen like that, but I'm just giving an indication. That is the situation Arjuna has been kept. That's why, please understand, Arjuna's grief is so deep, he wanted to give up his life. Please understand. He knows what that suicide is. But he's telling, oh, I will quit my life. I will stand in front of my enemy, they can kill me. Please understand this, dear devotees. If you actually see, is it not a difficult state? Is it a great difficult state? You see, in a cricket match, or the players, when they are playing, the player is not performing. Do you think that the player will be kept in the playing 11 or in the 14 squad? No, he will be removed out of that. That means when the player is actually there to be played, he has to show his results at that moment itself. Oh, he cannot show those results after 10 years later. Can you give me chance for 10 years? They will not give chance for 10 years like that. This is a dynamic place, na? Game of cricket is a dynamic thing. They will not give him chance like that. Likewise, dear devotees, the material nature will also not give chances for us. Please understand. A lot of people, they say that, oh, I'm gonna hear, but one day I will practice. Are that one day will never come. By the time the one day comes, we are gone. Is that not a problem? It's a problem actually. Yes? Is that not a problem? It is a problem. Definitely, David, what is it's a big problem. So we need to understand what we are aspiring in the life is what matters. What is your aspiration? What is your goal? We need to ask this question. Go. Today, when we are free, we should ask this question to ourselves. What is the goal? What is my aspiration? What is my goal? What should I do? What is my life? Should I just earn like this until I leave the body, until I'm 65, and then begin getting 401k and then relax for the next 20 years? Is that the life which I'm aspiring? What life I'm aspiring? What is the life which I'm aspiring? Which route I should take? Or should I aspire for pure devotion at least 5 years in my life? That's a great thing actually. Dear devotees, please understand. Honeybee stays only for some time, 3 months, 4 months. But it does a great service. It collects so much honey in our life tenure. Is that not a great thing? It is a great thing. Actually, it's amazing what honey does is. Now, should we glorify honey? We glorify Krishna, stating that he has given that much intelligence to the honeybee. Dear devotees, you know what honeybee does? It drinks the nectar from the flower, puts the nectar in the stomach. When it goes to the, you know, the honeycomb or whatever you say, the place where the honeybees will store the honey, it will actually spit out from the stomach. That means it's what? It's a spit of honey, the honey which you are drinking. Please understand that the same honey is being offered to the Lord during Abhishek. That means what the Lord is doing? Is he not accepting the honey from the honeybee? Wow, I don't understand. The mercy of the Lord we cannot understand. The intelligence which the Lord has given cannot understand. That means what is juta hai na honey ka? That means that juta in the sense, I mean, it's coming from the stomach of honey. You understand what I'm saying, right? If something comes from our stomach, if something comes from our stomach as a vomit, do people like it? They will go away from us. What's happening? It's all nasty smell coming. But see here, just the small honeybee through the 3 4 months of our life did so much service. It's only small. Likewise, Jiva likewise, if we aspire for pure devotion in our life for a few years, that a few years will actually take you to the spiritual world. There are some trees who stand for 100 years, 500 years. What is the benefit? No doubt there's a benefit to the environment. But what benefit other than that? What major benefit? No major benefit. Likewise, even if you live for 90 years, what is what is a what great which we did? These are the questions we need to ask. What did we do? What should we do? And how should we do? These are the questions which we need to ask. Very important. Very, very important. This we need to understand more and evolve our consciousness according to that and then move forward. Actually, this is bhakti. Evolution of consciousness, perfection in one's consciousness, deepening our faith and conviction in the process. This is devotion. Should all aspire for this. Dear devotees, it is easy to speak words, but put it in action is different. Is different and difficult also. That's how we have to meditate continuously. Come to that state. Evolve our consciousness. Move forward in devotion. This we need to aspire. Very important. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. See anyone has any questions, any comments, we'll go forward. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Go ahead, Mataji.
No, please go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then thank you so much, Prabhuji, for all your wonderful,
Please accept my
especially,
warm. Please start.
especially Arjuna's. Initially, Arjuna was so bewildered, and he was not able to, as you mentioned, and rightly mentioned, the issue with whoever is in between. People who are half material, half spiritual, are the one who are mostly suffering because they are neither here nor there. So with this, we can understand, Prabhuji, to take completely shelter of Lord Krishna, and then only that we can achieve our goal. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. It is so important actually. The consciousness has to be pure. Because when we initially came to Krishna conscious, everyone will say, "Oh, thank you for coming. You gave your time. You took your weekend. You can go anywhere, but you came here." Because they speak very nice words. Why? So that they allow us to be comfortable. For example, if you are going to someone's home, they will tell us, right? Are you comfortable? Is everything all right? Do you want some water? Do you want some juice or a milk? Whatever you want, we'll ready to provide you. Because you are their guest, right? Because when we first came to Krishna conscious, devotees will also greet us like that. But slowly, we need to understand that what we are looking is not those greetings continuously, but more than that, really aspiring for what Srila Prabhupada wants us to give. Actually, please understand, if Srila Prabhupada just merely wanted us to be introduced in Krishna consciousness, he wouldn't have been written all these books, or he wouldn't have taken all those struggles also to come to West. Please understand, person going through 3 heart attacks. One heart attack when he was in India, he was printing the books. Second heart attack when he was in the Jaladut. Third heart attack when he was in US in 1967. That is the last heart attack. And then they felt that Prabhupada will not come again. Prabhupada was in a very difficult state. That was in 1967. 68, I think 68. They felt that, oh, Prabhupada will not come again. But Prabhupada went back to India and then he recovered and then he came back again. They're so happy. Please understand. If Prabhupada simply wanted to give us that introduction to Krishna consciousness, he wouldn't have taken all these troubles. This is a greatest lesson which I remember from my spiritual master. He was telling us, if Prabhupada would have came just to give some introduction to Krishna consciousness, he wouldn't have been taken all these troubles in his life. Please understand, even after practicing Krishna consciousness, think about Bharat Maharaj. So that's a great lesson. Think about Arjuna. He's speaking everything, but in all that speaking, he's forgetting the Lord. That means he's not even inquiring whether this is pleasing the Lord. He's just expressing himself. I'm not saying that we shouldn't express, but we need to understand through that expression, what we are expressing, we need to know whether that expression or expressing is this pleasing the Lord and the Acharyas. Why are we stressing these things? Are very important, as important, you know what is? Please understand. Arjuna missed the bus through that reason only. Jadabharat missed that track through that reason only. Because he was not taking care of the deer for the pleasure of the Lord. Please understand. He was taking care of the Lord initially just to protect her, but later on for his happiness. Please understand. That's why Jadabharat is so Jada. Why Jadabharat is very Jada, very Stira? Why is he in that state? Because he knows I made a mistake. The problem is we don't realize that we are making a mistake. That's the problem. Very important. We should realize that we are making a mistake. Sometimes we think about this later. The afternoon also, I was just thinking about this. Correct. Prabhupada is telling if we simply work for Krishna, unlimited happiness is coming. What is that? When we see through the life of Draupadi Amma, she simply worked for Krishna. That's why Krishna came and then gave her unlimited sari. And then Krishna gave also her Akshaya Patra. That means she can feed thousands of people through that Akshaya Patra. Because what is her consciousness? She simply want to please Krishna. Is that selflessness? That means if we want to please ourselves, what is that? That is selfish. If you want to please Krishna, what is that? That is selflessness. That means the selflessness only there is happiness. If there is no selflessness, there is no happiness. I remember when I was doing the service, simply for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, it gave unlimited happiness, for sure, no doubt about it. Then what it invokes is to do more service for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. For example, you invested 100 rupees in a stock market, that came 1000 rupees. Do you just keep just to you know that if you invest more, you'll get more. I'm just giving an example. And everyone is telling, yes, you do that, you'll get great. No, do you invest more or do you just keep quiet? You invest. Likewise, dear devotees, if you know, if we are doing it for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, for the pleasure of Krishna, if we know that we are doing, through this doing, it will give us happiness, then do we do it very minimally or fully? That means if a person is actually doing, then he will realize that this is the greatest thing. Through that greatest thing, what is happening is he will do more actually. Because the moment he understands that what is happening, he knows if I stay in this consciousness, I'm not seeing faults in others. I'm not mocking them. I'm not pointing fingers to them. I'm not envious to them. That means what is happening here, what is just by that service, these things are taken care actually. And just through that service, your rounds will be done actually. Is that not mercy? Because what is happening, you're consciously trying to do or please them. That is exactly missing in the life of Arjuna right now. That is the core reason of his surrender. We should understand this, dear devotee. This is the whole point why Gita came. Because Krishna wanted to point this prominent principle, you work for me. If you don't work for me, you're dejected in this world. Because if you don't work for me, you'll work for Maya. Maya is like very dangerous actually in this world. Prabhupada actually says is, my disciples, they're great, they have intelligence, they know, but they're not fearful of Maya. So problem actually. They think that Maya is not that strong. Oh, she's very powerful. Dear devotees, when you are alone, it will come into consciousness. For example, if you are busy doing so many things, at that time we are busy in the things, not with Krishna. Please understand. For example, if you are doing something at home or something at the office, we are busy with that homework. Homework means not homework. At homework. घर पे काम. Homework or we are doing office work. That means we are busy at home, we are busy at office. That means our consciousness is busy at home, consciousness is busy at office. But that consciousness at home, consciousness at office is not pleasing Krishna. Because we are not working for him. That's why through that action we will not get happiness. Please understand. Why frustration comes? Because of this only. Because we are not working for them. So Prabhupada is telling, if you begin working for Krishna, potentially you'll get happiness, unlimited happiness. There's a potential of getting. It's a very beautiful statement. He tells has a potential to get unlimited happiness. That means what is happening? Yatamam prapadante tamsada vajam. You're doing an action, you're getting a result. Again, you're doing action, again you're getting the results. That through that we are so much indebted to them. So much indebted to Srila Prabhupada, so much indebted to the words of spiritual master. And we get a feeling that yes, I cannot repay to what they are giving. Because mercy, mercy means he knows, I'm not qualified, but he's giving. Just like Jagaima, they know they're not qualified. Later on, they know, they understood. After becoming devotees, they understood. That's why they are very humble. They understood they're not qualified to receive the mercy, but they received that. That means how they will take it? Utmost humility. This is where the Trinadapi Sunichana principle will come and then sit in our heart. Trinadapi Sunichana, Taravadi Vasaish, Amanina Manadina. Because I know, dear devotee, my personally also, I have no qualification to receive this truth. Because my background is totally different. It's been given actually as a gift. Not qualified to receive this. Not qualified to receive any respect. Not qualified to receive any of these things. But it is all been given. Just that one conscious understanding, it gives immense happiness to the heart. Because I know I don't deserve any of these things. I don't deserve the name Nila Govinda Das. It's a beautiful name. It's the name of the Lord. They say that you should become, what is that? You should become that Dasa. You should become Nila Govinda Dasa. You should become Dasa of that person. Person who is what? Person who is Govinda, is Krishna. You should become his Dasa. You don't deserve these names actually. You have beautiful names. Vamshila, Subhavula. It's a beautiful names. It's been given to us. I feel like that. It's been given to us. We're not qualified to receive any of those things actually. Then what should be our attitude? To serve, to give back to Srila Prabhupada's pure followers, to Srila Prabhupada, to Krishna. Should give back, give back, give back. Aspire for this consciousness. Definitely you'll get unlimited happiness. This unlimited happiness is there, dear devotees. We should serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada very selflessly. Some cats and dogs are late, they're living their life. Ahara, nidra, bhayam, eating, sleeping, mating, and different. Anyone can do that. But our life is not that. Our life is meant for our spiritual master. Our life is meant for Srila Prabhupada, for their happiness. Arjuna realized that. That's why Arjuna surrendered. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajat. Arjuna says, yes, my dear master, I will surrender. Yata teshe tata guru. Whatever you say, I'll do. Now he understood. He's a self-realized person. They understand. Just within half an hour, everything changed. If that happens to us in our life, though, perfect way to, you know, uh, move forward in our life. It was a very short life, dear devotees. The 100 years is nothing actually. Very short. But in very short period, we can make so much progress. Very short period we can make. Jadbharat realized that. That's why Jadbharat is very conscious. Wherever he's going, he's very consciously watching. That's why wherever he's going, he's seeing the truth because he's consciously absorbed in that. See, Prabhupada told Leelamrita after so many years. Now, how did he remember all of those things? Actually, he told only very little portion. There's so much in his heart. He did not tell all those things because he knows people will not accept it. People will be envious. He only told that because it will be used so that people will come to parts of Krishna consciousness. Because his disciples, they told Prabhupada, if they know about you, then a lot of people will take the science of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said, yes, then I will tell. Otherwise, Prabhupada wouldn't have told. There's so much in his heart. He only told 1% of that Lilamrita. There's so much, so many details in that. So it's our responsibility. We need to see how we should lead our life. Their devotees, please aspire for surrender. I'll tell you, the surrender process is a very beautiful process. Surrender is a very joyful process. Do you think that Bali Maharaj is putting his head down with a dejected state of consciousness? No, he's very joyful. He's thinking that, oh, Lord is accepting me. That itself, that itself is a great shelter and hope for the process of surrender. Actually, we'll discuss more on this surrender, that how this surrender is a very joyful process. But now we should stick to this. Work for Krishna leads to potential of unlimited happiness. If you are aspiring for that, Dear devotees, I'll tell you, this money, this will not give you happiness. Now, by this time, you might have realized or understood that I have all these things, name, fame, profit, adoration, but they're not giving me happiness. वो कच्चा ही है. It's not real. Doesn't have any existence. Very important. Hare Krishna. Let's stop here. Thank you, Subal Prabhu, for sharing. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Sorry
you so
if
much, Prabhuji.
I
Prabhuji, I
caused.
just wanted to give one quick update
Yes.
yesterday on this
Subal Prabhu.
auspicious day of Gaurpurnima. We entered into a
Yes.
contract, Prabhuji. We got last addendum. So we are going to get a temple in Tampa.
Nice. Very
On
nice.
19th, we are closing on 19th, Prabhuji. Please bless us. Hare Krishna.
So you'll be having a center.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice.
And
All the
hopefully,
best with your endeavor. Please continue practicing nicely.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Give more life and energy to the movement.
Yes,
Very
Prabhuji.
nice. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhu. Yes, Amma. Srila Prabhu.
Prabhu,
Please
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. I just want to share my gratitude, Prabhu. Thank you so very much for sharing the truth and the joy in practicing the truth through Guru. Through Guru. I know you did mention that we will discuss more on the surrender and the levels of surrender. So yeah, Prabhuji. And one example that you were explaining in detail is the Tamoguna. We don't even realize that, or the realization to just sit is like, okay, I've done a lot of service here, cooking and working, and okay, let me take a little break. And within that break, also, am I fully conscious that I'm doing something for Krishna, or is it for me, for my body, for my senses to relax or not? Very much to check, because that is what that's the association that we are saying, referring to.
if you are
At that
sleeping
point,
if you are sleeping 6 hours per day, which is required, you're sleeping that time, then that's good. If you're sleeping like we don't, generally nobody will sleep for like 10 hours. That is bad. So that is not right. Generally no devotees will not do that. So if you sleep for 6 hours, that's good. You are maintaining the body well. For example, if you start sleeping 2 hours, it will become difficult. So you should give enough rest to the body. At least take 6 hours rest. So you can use that body in the service of the Lord next day.
right? Yeah. So definitely, as we same thing, but then consciously doing after the class, checking our consciousness whether we are taking association of Krishna or not. If not, then opposite way, Maya. So that will that will definitely drag us, and we can see. I mean, I'm kind of with your mercy, with Guru's mercy, am easily able, if there is a argument, okay, this is because of, if I backtrack, can easily see, okay, this is because of that association. Not completely, but at least, when introspect and then find out, okay, that is what. But have to make sure that it's not repeatedly happening, which will take time. Continuously continue to beg for mercy, sincerely, without duplicity. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for giving a wonderful lecture, Prabhuji, and thank you for the wonderful legend from Silas, Prabhuji, on our Supreme Divine. Thank you so
Hare
much, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tarina. Hope you are doing good. Hare Krishna.